work in the States in an engineering firm, multiple engineering firms, and making the jump from that sort of like work culture to here is such, it was infuriating. Truly, I felt that like there was a long time where I felt depressed, very depressed. I was like, man, I put so many hours and effort into my degree, which I hate, by the way. Like I'm not a fan of engineering, but I put enough effort in where I was able to graduate, and I did a good job, and I comprehend the subject. And now I'm in a field where supposedly these people are so like above me, like a couple of years experience, and they've been in the the industry for so long. You would think that they have like some certain professionalism, technical know-how. Turns out they don't know jack shit. And it's not me talking from someone who is like arrogant or I know more than you. It's no, it's not that I know more than you. It's no, I know the bare minimum. I know the basic shit that you should know. And when I know the basic shit that everyone should know, and like I'm talking to someone who should have 10 to 15 years experience, and they literally do not know shit, then it becomes super depressing. And then you start looking around, like, how does anything get fucking done around here?
Yeah, but
Yeah, so.
it's it's I mean, I I I can't blame them technically fully because a lot of these
No, that
a lot of these
a
people
lot of
were
these
like
people,
you.
yeah, sorry, continue.
A lot of these
Yeah.
people were like you. They don't like what they went to. They were forced into it. Like as you said, a
Mm.
lot of them are Arabs. So it's like the ideology of, as you said, they have to be either a doctor or an engineer, whether it's whatever field of engineering or medicine. So
Yeah.
if they maybe they want it to be something else, like you can I know a lot of people like our friend, for example, he does not like architecture.
Mm.
He loves art. He is a fantastic artist, but
Oh, yeah, yeah, our mutual friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fantastic artist, but he just he prefers he'd rather do art than do architecture. But he went into
Mm.
architecture because if he chose or he told his because it's the closest thing to his what he likes. So
Yeah.
if he told his parents that he wants to be an artist, that's like ultimate blasphemy. It's like,
Yeah, but see this guy we're talking about again. I don't know if he wants us using his name, but this guy we're talking about, we know for a fact that he's a hard worker, and that in his firm that he works in, he
yeah,
ends up picking up
he's a
like
mule,
the
yeah.
work of three other. Yeah, he's a like and everyone gives him his work. His managers are pieces of shit. His coworkers are useless. And I'm not speaking of like just in general because you used to work with him, and so you know everyone around him.
Yeah.
And you know this for a fact that okay, he might not want to like he might have wanted to be an artist and he wanted to do other things, but yeah, he was forced into his job. But at least he does his job. At least he knows what he's
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, no, these fuckers don't know anything. Like again, I reiterate, I truly I sit there and wonder how these people can dress themselves in the morning. Sometimes. I'd say 80 to 80%. I don't say 85. 80% of these people should not be engineers or should not be in the technical field. And I'm sure that's not just in the engineering field. I'm sure that's anywhere. And yeah, it's like you said, maybe they were forced into it. But listen, man, if you're not gonna be, it's like an ethical thing at that point. If you're not gonna give like
You're
any,
100%.
yeah, like not even 100%. I'm not gonna say everyone should be like fucking like a workaholic, but at least show that you're doing your job. Show that if you're in a position, show that you know the most basic of basic functions of the job, and show that you know technically. Yeah, and you should feel embarrassed if a junior comes and talks to you and knows more about the subject than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, for them, a lot of people, when a junior comes and tells them, or they see a junior, because like the problem is that a lot of people just take advantage of someone who's a junior. They basically just give them the job and let them do the job, and they just sit back and relax. and then take all the credit, because in the end he's the senior, so he's the one who's representing the job. So he didn't do anything about it, in it
Yeah.
or on it, and he just sits there and
Yeah,
browses
and
Facebook.
that pisses me off. That's unethical. That's to me, and it's funny because in as an engineer, you're supposed to take this exam, or you don't have to take it, but it's recommended. It's called the FE exam, the Fundamentals of Engineering, and for those who don't know, it basically encompasses everything you've taken in the engineering field in your specialty for the entire 4 or 5 years of your degree. It's condensed into like an 8 hour exam. It was 8 hours when I took it. I think now it's like computer based and they cut it down to like 4 or 5.
Hmm.
So you spend 4 hours, general stuff, mathematics, physics, and then they had like economics and stuff. They give you 20 minutes to go cry in the bathroom. And then the second section is like more tailored toward whatever your specialty is, whether it's electrical, petroleum, mechanical. And and like there's a section either in the first part or the second part. It's called engineering ethics. And it was this exam. It wasn't where there's like a specific grade that you need to get in order to pass. It was pass or fail, depending on the national average taken that year or that exam round.
Hmm.
So if the average was high, you need to score higher. If it was low, you would pass with a
Yeah, it's
lower
like a
grade.
curve,
But
like a
there was
curve.
yeah, correct. Uh, but this one section called engineering ethics was if you failed, I'm pretty sure this was the case, but if you failed this section, you would fail the entire exam regardless of however much you scored. So so the entire section dedicated to ethics determined your pass or fail for this particular exam. And then you come here and you're saying like these people who are engineers or in these, it's just I may be living in some la la land where I think people should be good people. Like
Yeah, you're
like
living
people should be good people.
you're living in an ideal world.
Yeah, right. Like where people should be ethical and whatever.
I mean,
But like to see these examples, it just pisses me off to no end.
the thing is that uh, these people do exist that are ethical and they do the job and everything. Like,
Like our friend.
yeah, no, I'm not talking about the juniors. I'm talking about the seniors, managers. There are people that still do the job, do use their hand in the
Mm.
actual job. But the problem is that the majority, or what, like the outside, what we see, are the people that are unethical. So they just basically mask everyone inside. Because, like, of course, it's not 100% unethical people. There's 50-50, but the bad apple destroys everything.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
this is the thing. Like, I've dealt with people who are unethical. I've dealt with people who are very ethical. I've dealt with people who are, I'm talking managers. I'm not talking juniors. I'm talking like seniors and everything. Uh,
Yeah.
of course,
Well, clearly, yeah, of course, it's not everyone who's
yeah, yeah,
unethical. I'm saying just a large majority I
yeah.
see that
That's
are
the
like
thing.
that.
That's the thing, and uh, it's upsetting to a point, because
Yeah.
like uh, what happens is that the person who's like our friend, who's junior or whatever, they work hard, they spend hours, overtime and everything, and work, but they don't get the actual, and I wouldn't say recognition, but like okay, let's put recognition. They wouldn't get the recognition because in the end, who gets it? His senior or whatever. So they get
Mhm.
promoted and so on, and he stays in his position. This is unless
Yeah.
that senior is actually a decent person and tells, oh, but this guy was this idea was this guy's idea. I've,
Yeah.
then he will get the recognition from the higher ones. But if that person just keeps taking the credit all to himself, then this is the sad part where he gets higher and the guy who's actually doing everything doesn't go anywhere. And he can't talk
Yeah.
because he's just new in the company or just junior or whatever. So this is
Of course, there's a bunch of politics they need to adhere to.
yeah,
So
and the thing is, like,
a workaround.
I noticed in, like, even in Tunisia, it's different working, the working atmosphere. The in the West, or like even here, if you get a Western company, they actually invest in the younger ones more,
Yeah,
whether it's engineering or whatever, because they believe in this idea where if you bring someone younger, he has a different mindset than someone who's 50 years and or I mean 15 years experience or 20, because he's new, he's optimistic. So he wants to try,
yeah,
he wants to try new stuff. He wants to uh, get his creativity around. Like I'm imagining, for example, if our friend, we you let him design something based on his idea of sketching, he will make something fantastic. But he's stuck into
which
the
which he does,
yeah,
which he does. He does that consistently.
yeah, but then he's stuck in the scope of no, you cannot go beyond the box. You have to stick to the box. You have to make a box shaped thing, but you cannot be
Mm.
artistic. So this uh, this is the problem, you know, like they don't invest into the young minds. They just care about what sells.
It's not even sell. I don't know. Even the ones higher ups, they need to like if they actually gave a shit and actually looked into everything, they would actually see who is doing the work. And if that was truly the case, then they'd recognize that, oh, this person is putting in more work. I should like focus on him more than this manager who's just been doing nothing. But there's no, it's just the culture here, man. It took me a while to get used to it. I'm still not used to it. It still pisses me off. It's never gonna change, which is